introduction. Perfect. Thank you, Brittany. And just let a few more people trickle in here, okay? If you have not already, say your name out loud or put it in the chat box so that we can enter your name in the end for a drawing.
Carol Rodriguez.
Gotcha, Carol. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
John Hadeen.
John? Thank you, John.
Yes. John Hadeen. I can't get the chat to send, so.
Yes, sir. I got you down. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And my name is Dr. Paige Gainey, and I am with Total Hearing Care. I work at our Glen Lakes office, which is off of Walnut Hill Lane and 75. We have a location at Abrams and Mockingbird, Coit and Campbell, a new Plano location we're very excited about, and an Eastlake location in Garland. Here at Total Hearing Care, we help with anything hearing related. So if you ever need anything hearing related, please feel free to reach out to us. I like these presentations to be very interactive. So if you have any questions in the middle of it, go ahead, you can shout out and ask me, or you can type it in the chat, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about 10 know before you buy hearing aids. And then I'm going to go ahead and get into the OTC Act, Over-the-Counter Act, that has recently passed. And then Jennifer Butz is an audiologist for Resound, and she's going to talk about Resound products and Resound's answer to over-the-counter hearing devices, which is great. They are giving some awesome options there. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. And this is a Word document, and Brittany can definitely email you this. And then also there's a PowerPoint after as well. So if you are interested in that, just feel free to let Brittany know and she can get that sent to you. How many of y'all wear hearing aids? Raise your hand or say out loud. Okay, we have a few there. Yep. And whenever you first got hearing aids, was it a little bit overwhelming, or, gosh, there's so many options. What do I do? How do I go about it? I remember in high school shopping with my grandma that was my first experience with hearing aids. And it was a bit overwhelming for us. So I like to compose this document about certain things that maybe that can help guide you. And at Total Hearing Care, we are always happy to help you with your hearing journey, okay? You may be at the beginning of it, you may be, towards the part where, well, I'm ready to do something. So we're here for you no matter what. So first thing, don't rule out earwax. I can't tell you how many times a patient comes in and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to need hearing aids. And you know what? I flush their ears out, or I can suction the wax out, or I can use a little curette and get the wax out. And they're like, oh, I don't need hearing aids. So you have to be careful, because they do some places offer online hearing screenings or hearing tests. You want to be very careful about that, because we always need to understand that your ear canals are clean, or maybe there's a tumor, there's infection, something else that could be causing it. Number 2, resist sales pressure. Find an audiologist that offers an in-store demonstration where you can try the hearing aids on and have a trial period. I don't recommend buying something that you have not tried yet. Okay. Another thing, number 3, do they lock their devices? So this is something that's not well known. And I can speak on this from personal experience with family members. There was a store, and it was in a little bitty West Texas town where my grandparents lived, and Miracle Ear and Beltone, they do lock their devices so that you always have to go back to that Miracle Ear or that Beltone. So if that store closes or something happens, you know, you're not able to get service, you're going to have to drive. There are some other places, some with Sam's and Costco devices that are locked. So you want to be very cautious about that. Number 4, do they work with all manufacturers of hearing aids? One size does not fit every patient. Your hearing is kind of, it's like a fingerprint. Okay. It's unique to you. And because your ear hears, but your brain processes it. And everybody can say our brains are all different, right? So one device is not going to fit everybody. And it also, hearing is a lot like taste. So what tastes good to me might not taste good to you. And so what some patients say, well, wow, this sounds great. Other patients may say, oh, this sounds a little tinny, metallic, or, oh, I don't like that. So it's very individualized.
Try to explore why, because of what you're talking to with the consequences related to running for president, for example. This is going to be another distraction. This is time consuming, Neil. I mean, as a trial lawyer, I'm telling you, cases like this are extremely time consuming, not only for the lawyers, but for.
All right, we got that taken care of there. So the other number 5 I want to look at is beware of misleading claims. I'm sure you've seen some advertisements before, and in fact, patients have brought it up quite often, and nano hearing aids is one of them, and they will promise you the world. And be very cautious of that, because hearing aids are not perfect, and they will not bring your hearing completely back to normal, but definitely they will improve. There's been a recent German hearing aid. I've had patients come and ask. I've seen it advertised on my Facebook as well. And I've noticed their advertising. And that's what happens whenever you get marketing people involved, right? The marketing people are saying, oh, let's show this, let's show that. And, you know, in reality, we as the audiologists end up getting the questions, which is what we love, and hearing about, oh, well, does this really occur? Does this happen? Is this true? So then we can always navigate that. Number 6, do they have front office staff available during all office hours that can assist with in-house repairs and maintenance? Are they open on Saturday and late hours? This is something that's very important, especially to my cousin. One time he had problem on a Saturday, and we were able to help him at our Abrams and Mockingbird office because they're open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it was actually before his wedding. Right. So that it was, you know, perfect that he was able to get help whenever he needed it in the most important time. Number 7, think about your future with hearing aids, because you think right here, right now, I'm getting this device, but you know, what's going to happen in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And so one thing at Total Hearing Care, we want your hearing aids to last you a good long time. So we do offer warranty extensions, not only for repair, but also for loss and damage as well. And it's through the manufacturer. So there are some hearing aid places that say, we will give you this warranty, but it actually only works through them. So let's say that you move to a different, or let's say you're traveling to Florida or something, you'll be able to get help with any of our hearing aids because we extend that warranty through the manufacturer, not through us. So that's something definitely you want to take into consideration. Number 8, do they offer loaner hearing aids while your devices are being sent to the manufacturer for any type of service? Or let's say there's something that cannot be fixed in-house, we have to send it off to the manufacturer, because that does happen. We do have cabinets full of loaners to help you, and we program them and you can borrow them. I had a patient who desperately needed hearing aids, and her insurance was taking a long time to pay. Everybody knows that insurance, you know, they like to take your monthly premiums, but whenever it's time for them to pay, they take a long time. So it was nice that I was able to help her. She was a nurse. So she was a nurse in surgery, and she needed her ears, and she was able actually to borrow them for a couple of months. So that was nice to be able to offer that. We have that for all of our patients. Number 9, are they local? I can't tell you how much and important this is to be able to get help. If you buy something online, or if you buy something, that's not in-person centered care, you're going to end up, whenever something breaks, not being able to get help, and you're going to have to mail it back, and then they'll have to mail it back to you. And we have a lot of patients, they're in and out in 5 minutes because our front office staff know how to fix the hearing aids, and they can get back to their normal day-to-day functions. Number 10, are they contracted with all major insurance providers and will file for you? So we are contracted with all major insurance providers, and we will file for you, although we do not accept Medicaid, okay? Even if you have a discount plan, we will honor those discounts. We're also part of VA Choice. If for some reason you can't get into the VA, we can always get you help there, okay? Number 11, what about other hearing devices like amplifiers, PSAPs, and TV devices? PSAP stands for personal sound amplifiers. And whenever you come to your appointment, we talk about all of those different options to see if you are an option for, if you're a candidate for any of those, okay? Number 12, consider the price. So you want something that is going to help you, but you also want something that's going to last you. So a great longevity as well. So that's something that we always help you at Total Hearing Care. We have hearing aids that range in cost. We accept your insurance. So we will work out something that works for you. Number 13, do they have sophisticated equipment to allow them to do home visits if you're unable to come into the office? And we do that. I had a patient that was on hospice, and she needed to hear her family. So I was able to come to her home and help her hear. We also offer payment plans, leasing, and financing options. So that's something that you want to consider as well. We do mobile audiology, so we can do anything we can do in the office, we can do at your house or your residence. Do they offer full service for hearing devices? So if you come in with hearing devices, we do have majority, like 99% of the parts and pieces in-house to help if you have any problems, okay? So always reach out to us, and we would love to walk with you on your hearing healthcare journey. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the PowerPoint now. If y'all have any questions, feel free to chat or shout out and ask me, okay? All right, so now we're going to get into the OTC and what it means to you. So here's the link to the over-the-counter information. There's, it's in the green there. It's over 200 pages, and I read it all. It was thrilling. So I read it for y'all so that y'all don't have to. So at Total Hearing Care, we are very excited to be able to help anyone and everyone. So this may allow more people to get help sooner, which is what we like. We want people to address their hearing loss or hearing concerns as soon as possible, because research has shown that the sooner you address it, the better outcomes you have long term. So what are OTC hearing aids and how did they come about? So several years ago, the FDA was charged by Congress, or challenged by Congress, to create a new category of hearing aid that would be easier and less expensive for consumers to purchase than regular hearing aids. The FDA created a category called OTC hearing aids, which are different from prescriptive hearing aids. These aids can be sold over the counter at consumer electronics stores, grocery stores, pharmacies, by mail or online, and even in audiologist offices. They do not require any professional services. The FDA created rules that require these products to be easy to use by a layperson. These devices can officially hit the market on October 17th, 2022. But as we know, there are already options out there online over the counter. And Jennifer Butz is going to be talking about some of those options as well. So who are these devices for? So the FDA kind of had some guidelines, and it's patients with perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. So whenever they say that, the first thing you need to do is come in and we need to do an evaluation. We need to check your hearing to see if you're in that category. And they recommended them for adults 18 years of age or older. So here's some specifics of the law. Many of the decisions in the FDA ruling is about reasonable assurance of safety and effectiveness. Because of course the goal for the FDA is, we don't want patients to hurt themselves, okay? So which means they can, two things, patients could potentially over amplify, which guess what? That causes more hearing loss, which is scary. But more importantly, or well, not more importantly, but also importantly, you can under amplify. And that's something that people don't think about. And what under amplifying means is that you're not going to be hearing as much. And it's easier to do that. And what happens is your neurons, whenever you're under amplified, your neurons in your brain don't get stimulated as they should. And then they can weaken and they can atrophy and potentially die. So under amplification is just as important as over amplification. So the devices will not require that a person have a hearing test before they purchase the devices because it's perceived mild to moderate hearing loss. So we want to be cautious about that, because I have patients come in all the time and they're like, oh, it's not that bad. And I'm like, whoa. And usually it's your family members that notice it first, that you're hearing loss. And then, they say, well, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, we need you to get your hearing checked. So be very cautious about that perceived mild to moderate. They must come with a volume control, which can be on the device or activated via remote control or phone. So the FDA does require volume control so that the patient can turn up or down the volume. The hearing devices must have the ability to change the frequency response to fit their hearing loss, such as presets. So it would have preset preset programs in the devices. The insertion of the hearing device must sit at least 10 millimeters from the eardrum. This one is kind of a concern because we want to be very careful that the patient doesn't push it too far and hurt their eardrum, because the eardrum is made up of 3 thin layers. And it's easy to burst. I'm sure you hear of eardrums bursting all the time. And I've actually experienced it here in the office with a patient that blew through their eardrum from something they had bought online. So you be very cautious about this, okay? They also require the packaging to say OTC hearing aid. In the over 200-page document, they had a lot of labels and information on the packaging, like warnings. And that's because, they don't want these companies to be sued. And that's something that we need to be aware of. Packaging must say if it uses non-rechargeable batteries or is smartphone compatible. So the packaging is going to also have to say non-rechargeable or rechargeable. And it must give a list of red flags or reasons a person should see an ear, nose, and throat doctor. These are things such as dizziness, tinnitus in one ear, sudden hearing loss, drainage, pus, etc. And so you can always call Total Hearing Care and we can help with that too if you're having any of those symptoms. If the hearing devices have been used, they must be labeled as such. So this is an interesting one, because why would you buy something that's used? I thought that was interesting. And I think where they're headed on that is if something is not working out for a patient, the patient may or may not be able to send that over-the-counter hearing device back. And if they are able to send it back and the manufacturer decides to resell it for some reason, which is kind of gross because it's been in your ear, then they have to mark it as used. So technically what we do, we have a 30-day trial period and you get to try the hearing aids. If for some reason, like I had a patient that passed away, you bring it back to us, we can't, we would never resell that or mark it as used. We would send it back to the manufacturer. Okay. Packaging must say that if they struggle with the devices, they should consult a hearing care professional, which is absolutely 100% correct. Some things that are not required for over-the-counter hearing aids, they do not require a hearing test to program them. They do not require referral from a physician, which is not a big deal. They do not require noise canceling technology. Man, that's a big one because patients, when they come to me, the number one thing that comes out of their mouth after they usually can't hear their loved one is, I have trouble hearing in noise and I have trouble hearing the television. So I think the over-the-counter hearing aids not requiring noise canceling technology will be kind of difficult there. They does not require a return for credit or money back guarantee or warranty. However, certain states may require this. And the FDA did say in this that they see this as a good thing to promote consumer confidence in a product and promote competition by manufacturers. So I 100% agree with that. At Total Hearing Care, we always have a money back guarantee and warranty with all of our devices. And we do it because we know patients have a high satisfaction rate with our hearing aids. So the over-the-counter hearing devices, they are not considered self-fitting because that indicates that they have done a hearing test in some way, but they need to be self-customized. OTC hearing aids can be self-fitting. Cost is not a given in the rule, and they did not mention anything about consumer support. In all of our locations, we have anywhere between 20 and 40 people a day just walking in and getting help over the counter. And that doesn't even include the phone calls that we get. Oh, my Bluetooth came impaired with my hearing aid. So that would probably add another 50 phone calls per office that we get every day. Consumer support is just as important as the hearing instrument themselves. So I'm concerned about that. So who qualifies for OTC hearing aids? The FDA has ruled that OTC hearing aids are appropriate only for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss. They may be good for people who have difficulty with just one situation, such as work meetings or the TV being too loud for others. Think of it like this. You may have some difficulty reading a book or your computer, and so you get reading glasses and they work. But if you have vision worseness or your vision is different in each eye, you will need to see an optometrist for vision exam and get prescription glasses. So if you are noticing any difficulty hearing in any situation, it's important to have your hearing checked by an audiologist. And so call us so we can schedule you an appointment for a thorough audiological evaluation so we can see what your options are. Okay. And so just give us a call. Our number is 214-987-4114, and we can always get that scheduled for you. Really quick, I'm going to pass it over to Jennifer Butz here, and she's going to talk a little bit about Resound and what Resound has to offer about the OTC hearing device. And Jabra, how are you saying it, Jennifer?
Hi, yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you. Yes, we call it Jabra. And I certainly am going to talk about that. I am also going to discuss just our regular hearing aids. I am a trainer for Resound, so I do not work for Jabra. I'm happy to talk about our over-the-counter product. It really is intended to be kind of something that's very easy for the patient. So even from a perspective of a Resound employee, we don't have a lot of the information about how it works and all the intricacies of working with the product, because it's really intended to kind of bypass providers and go straight to the patient. So I'm absolutely going to get into that. And I think it's super valuable information and a great segue from what Dr. Gainey just went through. And also share a little bit about our current hearing aids on the market as well. So true amplification options. I am not able to share my screen. Is that something you can help out with?
Yes, let me do
Okay,
that
thank
real
you.
quick, Jennifer, one moment. Sorry,
great.
I meant to do that earlier.
Okay. So I have been with Resound for about 5 years. I'm an audiologist. I am in the DFW area. I'm a trainer for them, so I get to help other practitioners and hearing healthcare providers program our instruments better, teach them about new products. So it's an exciting job that I have a little bit of kind of on the manufacturer side, but still some patient care. Let me go ahead and, oh, now I got it. All right, perfect. Okay, so we will certainly get into our Jabra product, but before I do that, I was going to get into the hearing aids that are on the market now. So I kind of formatted this for the Jabra product to be at the end. So we'll have to get through everything first before we get into that. And it's a really exciting time for Resound, especially for me, to come on and talk to you all about our hearing aids in general, because just a couple weeks ago, we launched a brand new product. So launches don't come all that often, and when they do, they're pretty exciting. And so this is a brand new product for us, and it's called Resound Omnia. And this is made for hearing and noise. So just to clarify, this is a hearing aid, so a medical grade hearing aid that you would get from an audiologist practice. So separate from the over-the-counter product. So as far as Resound Omnia and how it's made for hearing and noise, at Resound, we always have focused our research and design and all of the technology that we build to really follow this organic hearing philosophy, where our products are truly designed to mimic the way that the natural hearing ear hears, and re-implement that into the technology that we provide. So our 3 kind of pillars that we always strive to meet with are, we want our instrument to sound natural, and we're able to accomplish this by better hearing and noise, clarity in any environment that you might find yourself in, feeling natural, so how the device fits on the ear, and also some upgrades to our app that kind of help with getting it correctly on the ear itself, and then connecting naturally. In this day and age, of course, connecting via our phones, accessories, is so important. So something we really want to make sure that is implemented into our technology. So as far as sounding natural, Resound Omnia is improved over our previous technology in 3 major ways. So the first way is that we've really kind of widened what kinds of sounds the hearing aid is able to pick up. So again, we are always trying to we're trying to emulate natural hearing, and the natural normal hearing ear does hear all around us, and it lets the brain decide what it wants to listen to. So Omnia is able to kind of widen that sound environment around the patient, or around you, so that you're better able to identify what you would like to listen to. Faster detection and selection to environments. So hearing aids, all manufacturers are very automatic. They are very good these days at identifying what kind of environment are you in? Are you in quiet? Are you in quiet with some loud speech or some soft speech? Are you in quiet with, are you in noise with some speech? And it's going to make adjustments accordingly. So with Omnia, the switching between those environments is faster and more accurate, and really able to maintain the optimized kind of setting for whatever that environment might be. And thirdly, the improvement to Omnia is what makes this product better made for hearing in noise. So we use something called a beamformer when you're in noise, where you do hear around you. We're not going to isolate you from the surroundings around you, but we are going to beamform using our microphones to pick up what's directly in front of you. And so this product is a second generation of the beamformer that we introduced, and it's more precise and able to identify directly in front of you. So what is the signal that you're probably interested in listening to, and better at separating the noise from the speech in front of you. So that's kind of what's happening inside of the hearing aid and why it's made for hearing in noise and the benefits to you as a patient. So now we'll talk about kind of what it looks like itself and some of the other features as far as feeling natural. So this product is available in that kind of over the ear type style. We call it a receiver in the ear, where a receiver comes down in front and then it's seated in the ear canal with a dome or an earpiece. And we're able to offer this in 3 different styles. So you have the smallest option, which uses a 312 battery, or that battery with the brown sticker. And then we also have a rechargeable option. So really nice rechargeability. And then lastly, we do have a size 13 battery option. So something that it has a telecoil in it, if that's important to you. A little bit bigger, of course, but also a third option. So whatever your needs might be. As far as rechargeability is concerned, the rechargeable solution will give you 30 hours of battery life. So when you remove that hearing aid from the charger in the morning, you're able to put it on the ear and listen for 30 hours. So all day. You should really never have to worry about the device, the battery dying on you in the middle of the day. If you stream, and by stream we mean stream phone calls or directly stream media into the hearing aids, it's going to last 25 full hours. So quite a long lasting system. And a few different charger options depending upon your needs. One thing that's really unique to Resound that I love to talk about, that is, we introduced it with our previous product and we are able to use it in this product as well, is something called a microphone and a receiver in the ear. So in addition to that receiver wire coming down and sitting in your ear canal, we actually put a third microphone right there as well. And the reason behind that is that I know I prefer to hear from the entrance of my ear canal. And so by utilizing this technology, we're able to pick up sound where nature truly intended at the entrance of our ear canal. And like Dr. Gainey was discussing earlier, our hearing is like a fingerprint and everyone's hearing is truly unique to them. So part of that is, of course, that our ears are all shaped differently. So being able to utilize the shape of your unique ear and how it captures sound has been truly remarkable with this technology. So something else that's kind of unique with Resound. Ultimately, the benefit in addition to natural sound quality is better hearing in wind, better localization. So what we mean by that is able to differentiate where sounds are coming from by taking into consideration your ear itself, or what we call the pinna, and how it's shaped. By placing that microphone at the entrance of our ear canal, we're able to more accurately identify where sounds are coming from. And then connecting you naturally to the sounds around you. So connectivity is such a gigantic portion of everyone's lives these days. Here we all are in this virtual meeting. It's just the way of the world, right? So it's very important that our hearing aids have kept up with the times. We connect wirelessly to any Apple product and most Android products, meaning when you pick up a phone, that phone call can stream directly to your hearing aids. We also have hands-free calling, so you can actually you don't have to fish your phone out of your pocket or your purse if it rings. So if your phone starts to ring, you can simply press a button on the hearing aid and stream that call without having to get your phone out, as long as it's close to you. And that's with Apple right now. We also have connectivity with all of our wireless accessories. So if your hearing is to the point where maybe you need a little extra boost listening to TV or in a noisy environment, we have accessories that can help out with that. And they're really small and subtle and super easy to use. Okay, so this is kind of segueing into the Jabra product, because it absolutely is in the same realm. But these are our new custom products. So by custom, I am still referring to a hearing aid. So a true medical grade hearing aid that's purchased, dispensed by a licensed audiologist. It's custom because it's created from an impression of your ear. So this is created from your ear, sent to Resound, and we make these devices for you. They're still hearing aids. So they are fully featured with all of the same technology that I just discussed. So this is what they look like. So I don't know about you, but when I look at these, I don't think that looks like a hearing aid. I think it does actually look like an earbud or something that people are wearing these days when they're walking around the grocery store or the airport. And that's kind of the intention here, is to get away from the idea that hearing aids are just these big, bulky, beige things that are going to whistle all the time, because that is not what this looks like. It does still come in beige. So if that's your preference, you absolutely can still get it in beige. But the goal here was to create something that gets people to kind of think again what a hearing aid might actually be. So these are the two styles. You've got kind of a smaller option and one that totally fills up your ear, and they're rechargeable. So you're able to put them in the charger at nighttime, just like the other products, and put them in the ears, and then they will last all day. So 24 hours if they're fully charged at nighttime. The really wonderful thing about this charger system is that it also is made from that impression of your ear that was sent to Resound. So it is a custom charger also. The benefits here are that you don't have to worry about getting it in. It truly is such an easy mechanism. It just kind of falls right into its spot, because that spot for the hearing aid is custom made for the hearing aid, which is custom made for your ear. So if you struggle with any sort of tactile sensation or dexterity problems, this is a very, very simple, easy device to manage you or any loved one. And then when you close the lid, that charge comes from the top. We also do have, if you're thinking, oh, well, I like that, but it's big. We know that most people, in fact, who are looking for a custom hearing aid do want something very, very small. So we have a completely in the canal device that is new. And that does not have the bells and whistles of rechargeability or wireless connectivity, but it's small and it sounds good. So that is the full portfolio as far as custom products. So again, true hearing aids, but definitely looking more like an earbud type style. All of them are nano-coated, double nano-coated with a rating of the coating that means that it can be submerged underwater. So I'm not going to tell you they're waterproof. I don't want you to test that theory necessarily, but they certainly are able to be, if you jump in the shower accidentally, even if you throw them in the washing machine inadvertently, they should maintain just fine. So at Resound, we have a lot of products to, oh, I'm sorry, Paige, did you have anything to add, or I didn't see you unmute, but I saw
Can
you go
you
back.
go back to the slide with the glasses and the little beige hearing aids? Yeah, that reminds me of when my grandma took a nap. So she took her hearing aids out and put them on the counter, and my grandpa came by and thought they were peanuts and ate them.
Smallest peanuts. That
I
should be our
know.
marketing slogan.
Yes, yeah. But everything,
Oh my
okay, but
gosh.
yeah.
Well, if that happens, we'll fix them. Yes, that's so funny. So at Resound, this is kind of all of the hearing aids we offer today. This is just such a short amount of time. But I really only talked about these two. But we have a full product portfolio if you maybe you have some specific needs audiologically or lifestyle needs that I didn't get to today. So this is kind of a more comprehensive of all the solutions that we offer. And then real quickly, I had mentioned that our new products, of course, feel natural, and part of that has to do with how you get them in your ears. So I'm not very familiar with well, you're all connecting to the Zoom meeting, so I'm going to assume we have a pretty solid level of tech savviness here. So our app has a really cool new feature on it called Check My Fit. So if out there you've ever struggled with getting a hearing aid in your ear, or maybe that's a big kind of hurdle and why you haven't sought them out at this point, is just worried about getting them in and making sure they're in correctly. This is a really great new feature that helps make sure that your hearing aids are in correctly. So it's kind of like taking a selfie. You turn and it snaps a picture. And it takes the picture for you. You don't have to worry about doing it. Turn and snap the picture. And then it compares the picture of your hearing aids to a photo that was taken in your audiologist's office. So you then would make sure, oh, right now, this is actually sticking out a little bit and it's supposed to be tucked in more. So I'm going to go ahead and have to push it in a little more and maybe then repeat the process. So ultimately, this has significantly improved users' ability to insert hearing aids, which ultimately makes them sound better too. So, oh, my hearing aids aren't working, or they're cutting in and out, or it's not, they work better in the morning and then later in the day I don't hear as well. This app has helped a lot of those situations. So that, again, is all Resound's hearing aids. So really, really wonderful solutions that your audiologist is able to talk to you about. But of course, just as Dr. Gainey just went through, we have a lot of people out there who are going to have a lot more access to hearing healthcare in the form of over-the-counter devices. And at Resound, I think our goal is always to have you go to an audiologist and have a hearing test and use hearing aids, because we know that that is ultimately going to provide you the best ability to hear better in noise, hear your loved ones at home. But we have an OTC option as well. So it is called Jabra Enhance Plus. It's actually been on the market since earlier this year, about February. And now until October, it's actually only able to be purchased from a audiologist or hearing care professional's office. So it does not require a hearing test, but I think it's so great to have a hearing test to be able to identify, I perceive my hearing loss to be mild to moderate, but is it really? I need probably an audiologist to tell me where I am in that. And then maybe this is a fine option now, but a year, 5 years down the road, if your hearing needs change or your hearing loss change, to have that relationship and that baseline, that an audiologist who can help guide you towards the next steps. So this is what Jabra Enhance Plus looks like. It does look similar to our rechargeable customs. This is not, however, a custom made product. So it is not made from an ear mold impression. It is simply something that you can pick up off of the shelf, and the same device fits for every patient. It looks like an earbud because that is precisely what it is it is a bud that sits in the ear that is going to be able to stream phone calls, stream audio, while still providing hearing enhancement. We do this from the use of an app. So we have an app that you would download on your phone. It actually walks you through some steps as far as personalizing your sound quality. It is somewhat of a hearing test, but it does not provide you those results. It does not provide your audiologist those results. At Resound, we can't even pull the results. So it walks you through kind of what sounds are you hearing to provide some sort of personalization. So ours would be considered self-fitting. And then once you've completed that process, you can at any point go into the app and make adjustments to the sound quality. Is it going to be, do you need a little more directional in front of you? Do you want to kind of hear all around you? Raise your volume, lower your volume. So really basic adjustments compared to what a hearing aid can make, but a little bit of personalization, certainly. And so that app is called the Jobber Enhance Plus app. And again, this is intended to really bypass your audiologist, bypass Resound in general, and or Jobber in general, and just kind of for you to take full ownership of as far as the programming and the maintenance. We do have a consumer line that can call and help you with some of that. There's not a lot to talk about because it's a pretty basic product, but ultimately is personalized to your hearing loss and has some of the connectivity benefits that hearing aids have, and can be purchased as of October. I'm not exactly sure where, but over the counter. So this is our positioning of Jobber Enhance Plus, is that if you're on the fence about hearing healthcare in general, if you're not sure if you need help or if you're ready for a hearing aid, it is a really nice starter option. I think it's great to help you identify if hearing aids will benefit you, and then ultimately lead you back at some point to purchase the true gold standard of a hearing instrument from a licensed audiologist.
Yeah, and that's the thing, 95%, probably closer to 95% of our patients, that wear hearing aids, they're not having a mild loss. They're having more of the moderately severe and profound loss. So we're excited because it's kind of like a stepping stone to get patients to do something whenever they're having mild and somewhat moderate difficulty. So it really helps get you in the groove now so that you'll be able to transition easier later. So
precisely, yeah. And that's what we've seen too, because this has been on the market since February. So many patients of those already have purchased it, noticed the benefit, and then said, wait, I need more. And so it's with not even being 6-7 months out, they've already taken the next step towards purchasing true hearing aids.
Yeah. It's kind of like they realize, oh gosh, wow, hearing better is great. I wonder if I can get more. And the answer is yes, you can, by getting a gold standard hearing aid. So absolutely, it's a stepping stone, and it's a good thing. I'm excited about it. So thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I'm going to just do a little talk here about the end of this slide about next month. And also, we need patients with mild to moderate hearing loss to try out some of these over-the-counter hearing devices for us and get back to us. So if you are willing to be that person, or we would appreciate it so much if you will reach out to Brittany. You can call her. Our number is 214-987-4114, because we ultimately want to do a presentation with patient reviews on all of these different things, different new over-the-counter hearing devices. So that would be amazing for anybody to volunteer. Also, next month, we're going to talk about, am I a cochlear implant candidate when hearing aids are not enough? At Total Hearing Care, we do not do cochlear implants. We refer out, but we still have patients that need them. So we will talk about that, and also possibly more of the over-the-counter hearing devices at that time, since they're supposed to be coming out October 17th. And this Zoom, next Zoom is October 19th at 11:30 to 12:30. Okay, and again, it's join us every third Wednesday of each month from 11:30 to 12:30 about new topics each month. And if you have any suggestions about what you want to hear about, let us know. Call that number and let Brittany know, because we're always looking for, what are our patients thinking? What questions do you have? So now we are on to any questions for us. You can shout out, ask them, or you can type it in the chat box. So if y'all have any questions, go ahead and work on that. Everything was clear as mud. While y'all are thinking about it, I get to announce who won the gift card. And the gift card winner is Charlotte Schmidt. And she won a Bella Green gift card. It's a great restaurant. So Charlotte, if you will call Brittany at 214-987-4114, and she will get this gift card to you, or you can come to the office and pick it up. And I'll put that in the chat box.
Carol Rodriguez, question.
Yes, Carol.
Would you all, even when we come in and have a hearing test and by the audiologist, would you even suggest an over-the-counter to us if it was all we needed?
If it was all you needed, absolutely. And we have those in the office. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that right? Well, because
Right.
I was thinking to invest in an over-the-counter when all along really I'm moderate to severe.
Correct.
It's a waste of money.
Yep. So
They're not giving these away either.
yeah. And that's why we would want you to check your hearing aid, or check your hearing, and then see if you're a candidate for the mild to moderate. And then we have the options of your over-the-counter hearing devices like Jabra and everything. So absolutely.
That's fair. All right. Thank you.
Good question. Love that question. Any other questions? That was a great question.
Well, okay. I have another question.
Yes, go for it.
It's not new to me. I've got to do something. So where do we begin? How much does tinnitus affect hearing aids?
That's a great question. So tinnitus, it can be in many different forms. It can be buzzing, ringing, hissing, cicadas. It can be all different types of forms, and it can be constant. It can be low pitch, high pitch. So there's many forms of tinnitus, but they're pretty much the statistics on, what's going to happen with my hearing loss and my tinnitus. 80% of patients say, man, it's gone away. That's great. 20% of patients say, it's still there, but I'm hearing better. So it's a mixed bag, but majority of patients, it subsides, goes away. And then other patients say, it's still there, but at least I'm hearing better. And so part of your evaluation, we are going to ask those questions. How long have you had tinnitus? Is it in both ears? And what does it sound like? Because we also have hearing devices that can help mask the tinnitus or alleviate tinnitus as well. Good question.
Great. Thank you. That's encouraging. Very encouraging.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Okay, Jennifer Rodriguez had a question. We have a couple questions in the chat box here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with the first question, Norma. It said, if we are tech weak, do you help with setup with app and how to use it? Norma, absolutely we do. So your initial appointment at Total Hearing Care is about 2 to 2.5 hours. Your follow-up appointments are usually 30 minutes to an hour. And then you have unlimited appointments for the warranty of your device. And you have also, if you can't come into the office, you need help over the phone, Brittany or any of our front office staff know how to set it up and do all of that. And we'll coach you on it, we'll show you. So absolutely, we help with that. So we have another question, and it's from Bo. If you have hearing aids already, does your hearing stabilize or get worse across time? So that's a great question. And what that means is, well, if I bought hearing aids and let's say, a year down the road, well, gosh, I'm not hearing as well. Well, that's something you need to call us, okay? Because it could be a lot of different things. Number one, it could be wax. So I don't know if y'all remember during COVID, nobody was going out anywhere. After COVID, I had so many people coming in for earwax cleanings because they couldn't come into the office. And so that's something we need to check. We need to check your hearing to see if it changed, because your hearing can change over time. If it has changed, then guess what? We can reprogram the hearing aids, and we can change the prescription in that. So that's why your hearing aids can grow with you, because they can change. Some of the over-the-counter hearing aids are not like that. So just be cautious of that, okay? Great question, Bo. Okay, Jennifer, we're back to Jennifer here. And she has a question. Is there a price list somewhere for the different hearing aid options? Absolutely, there are. And I'm assuming, do you mean hearing aid or over-the-counter hearing devices? Because we don't know the prices on the over-the-counter devices quite yet, but we can get those prices for you, Jennifer. Oh, hearing aid, got it. And Brittany, just call Brittany, because she's going to want to check your insurance, because if you don't have insurance, that's fine. We'll still give you the options. But if you do, sometimes you might have, even if you're like, oh, I just have Medicare, and you might have a discount plan or something. So reach out to Brittany and she can get that for you. And I'm going to put in our phone number. Those are awesome questions. Y'all are on fire with the questions today. I love it. Any more? And I'm going to put our number in the chat box here in case y'all want to call Brittany. Beautiful. Okay, well, my patient is here, my next patient, so I've got to run, but thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming and speaking about Resound and y'all's products. And I would like to thank each and every one of y'all for coming. You are what makes my day bright every day, and I love seeing everybody here getting together. So that is awesome. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Thank you for attending.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Have a great day.
Thank you, Jennifer. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi.
this is Minnie Mitchell, and I failed to raise my hand, but I am wearing hearing aids. They're by Signia, and they're the ones that it looks like